Hey!
Phil in North Carolina.
Phil!
So for those of you fans who don't know, Phil is the amazing artist who's been doing the animations that have been before
He's
the
the
show.
one that helped us defeat the aliens you saw at the...
Absolutely. And gave Jamie a cigar, which I thought was interesting. Hey, Phil. How's it going?
Hey, guys. How the hell are you?
Marvelous.
Very good to be hearing from you, man. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the hell fine. I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. Like, when I was a kid, I heard Arn Ra speak about empathy being hardwired into the human brain. And it must come at different levels, or we wouldn't have sociopaths, or they would seem to have none, except for themselves. But I think I might have had an overage of it. I used to cry when I was like 4 or 5 years old when my brother or sister would get a spanking and beg for them not to be spanked, even if it was something they'd done to me they were being spanked for. I never understood that. It was just there. And then when I was 5 and sitting in church, I hear this, they taught us little kids in Sunday school about Jesus, the all bright side of Jesus, and how good he was, and he loved all the little children. Well, then I'm sitting in the main part of church, and the preacher's talking about all the horrible things they did to this man they had just recently taught me was so loving and kind, and well, that just ripped my heart out. So here I am, 5 years old, bawling like a 5-year-old, and heading to the altar, because that's what I'm shown I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. And
I was crying because of how horribly this man I was told existed was treated when he loved everybody and was so kind to everybody. And I think it was the empathy that was a very good draw into all that and sealed my indoctrination pretty well. And it took 40 years to get rid of it, it took 7 actually. The last 2 years I'm totally convinced, but 7 years is when it all started, when I was 45. But 40 years of pretty much writing it fairly hard. I sang bluegrass gospel in about every church I ever went in, and went into some strange ones, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But I believe that the empathy locked me into it. And I wonder, doesn't everybody have different levels of it?
Yeah, I agree, right? So you said the people with, psychopathy, that's a kind of extreme case, but I agree, right? Like it's the thing about religion. The reason that it causes problems is that it puts something above caring about other humans, right? There's lots of things that do that. Religion does that systematically because it tells you there's someone/something that's way more important than anything else. And in my head I was forming this metaphor that's like indoctrination will sneak up on you. You walk through the grass and you're having a good time and you let your feet be free, but indoctrination is a snake. And if you're not looking for it deliberately, it will sneak up on you and you won't know that it's there if you're blissfully going through life until it bites you real hard, right? And it doesn't, it makes people do lots of weird things.
Yeah.
Beliefs inform actions, and unquestioned beliefs that put humans below what you should care about are dangerous.
Do you know what really kills me? What really kills me is the cognitive dissonance of somebody who is very empathetic, as you're describing, who can piece together. And I know I was one of these people, and that's part of what scrambles me is people who think that their God is all loving both want you to grieve the torture and murder of their Savior, and at the same time think that it's part of their God's plan for people who have been captured and tormented for decades, right? And so subject to things that I would not feel comfortable bringing up. I mean, just horrendous acts. There are people who live their life in torment and pain. There are people in other countries who starve slowly, and all of those things are part of their God's plan. And we got to feel real bad about Jesus.
You'd have to see me, but if my body were the result of intelligent design, I think my designer was on some sort of drugs.
Jesus juice, perhaps.
Yeah.
But I think empathy creates it's like you swallow a pill, but if you swallow a pill that's got spikes sticking out of it, it's going to stick in a hole somewhere. And I think that's what a high level of empathy can be like with the indoctrination. It sticks really well. I never really debated the point. No one ever really questioned it where I'm from. They're everywhere, you know, and there are fewer of those who don't believe than there are those who do.
Yeah.
And
this whole
we're
country,
well surrounded. And I'm in a small town here in Dumpwater, North Carolina, and getting together a community of atheists would probably be suicidal. The next town over has the KKK still alive in it, so it's not easy to be an atheist in this town.
Well, no, and the KKK, unfortunately, is more alive than I think people realize. But
yeah. Phil?
Oh, yeah.
Phil?
They've just gotten better at hiding. Yeah.
No matter where you are, no matter how alone you feel, we're there for you. And I can guarantee you.
Well, my wife's catching on. My wife's catching. She's getting there, and she's questioning more and more, and I can just see it scaling away. And, I mean, I don't debate her about it. You know, if someone says something obvious on TV, she catches it. So, you know.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's how it starts, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, we've tolerated each other for nearly 18 years now.
Tolerated isn't it?
Yeah, no cyanide in my coffee yet, so all is well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I think it made it very hard, that empathy that I felt about the character of Jesus made it very hard to start peeling it away. Even though it may have been easier had some atheists come up and said, what, are you crazy? Or, you know, at least I might have questioned it more. But you just fall in with the cult, and I think all religions are cults to some degree. It's not to a total degree. But it makes it
what the
hard
big
to
church calls the small
realize.
church.
Yeah, it makes it hard to realize, because if it's all you've ever known, and from people you trusted who didn't know any better and trusted people pulled in, blah, 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 then, you know, it just seems like it's right, and everybody else that doesn't believe it must be off or not, you know.
Yeah. Of course, everyone I know believes this, and the people that don't, they're just weird outsiders. Yeah. Those others over there, they're not like you and me. I would say it's interesting to note that one of the things that motivates people to be atheist activists and not just doubt is learning that religion really fucking harms people all the time. So no illusions is anyway, but.
And when I saw Seth Andrews had the video about Christianity made me talk like an idiot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got that one real quick. Yeah, that's exactly, man, I didn't realize what an idiot I was till I heard that. But, you look back, and I've heard Matt talk about he wasn't any more intelligent. But I understand when someone feels that way, because it's an epiphany-like feeling to realize what is real and what you've been handed all your life. And I think some of them kind of overboard with that arrogance. Some do, and some don't. Some realize, well, like I try to realize, I was at it for 40 years. Who am I, to give anybody a hard time or look down on them?
Right, yeah. It's
I think
helpful
that's what
to
I like
remember.
about you guys. You don't really, you guys don't really do a whole lot of trash. I mean, I like that. You catch more flies. And
You've never seen our rap battles.
And I actually have been, I've actually been getting less patient with people, and I don't know how to feel about that, because that's not the way this show is, and so I've lost my patience a couple times, and I'm just...
Gotta go back to med school.
Oh, don't get me wrong. If I was out in public with it, I'd probably lose mine quite often. I can hold it here in print, I can type it and say, no, I better delete that. You don't get that once it comes out of your mouth.
But Phil, I think we're going to move on to the next caller. We only have a couple minutes left. Phil, we love you, man.
Just real quick. Do you want a wavy armed inflatable guy in an animation soon?
Yes, we do.
Do that. Get you some tinfoil hats too, if you'd like.
Yeah.
One for
gosh.
him. I'm good.
Okay.
You take care, brother.
You just don't.
All right. And tell Janet I said hi.
Oh, will do. Yeah.
Will do.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thanks for calling in, Phil.